So getting ready to film this, I got really nervous because some of the stuff I'm going to tell you I'm either getting over or I have got over and it affected me. So we left off on the last video. If you haven't seen it, click on my channel or I'll try to figure out how to link it. We were talking about my boyfriend, my ex-boyfriend, and we were talking about when the night started coming around. So, pretty much like after what I told you, everything was kind of okay. It wasn't that bad. And then in his room, he has like his bed and then he had a chair at the end of it. So I was sitting in the chair and then he went to the end of the bed and we were talking and then we just started arguing. And in my head, this is what happened. We both, from what I remember, he started coming up from the bed and then I followed him because honestly at that point I didn't trust him at all. So we kind of went at each other, but I don't think there was much contact. But the day after, my nose was really sore, so obviously there was kind of something. I don't know if I knocked my nose or if he did. But and then after that happened, I pretty much grabbed his head and I put him on the bed and I was holding his head down, screaming for help because I thought he was mad at me. I don't know why that happened. If it was both of us, I don't know. His dad said that we were toxic for each other because he was kind of a bad kid and he also has bipolar disorder, and I don't know if you're not, I don't know, if you're less likely to get along with somebody if they have it too. I don't know if that's true or if that's what he meant, but, or actually no, it wouldn't have been because he didn't know by then. But yeah, we were just toxic for each other. So after his dad came down, and I'm not going to mention everything because I don't know, even though it was my experience, I don't want to say too much about the person because if somebody figures out who it is, obviously if you know me, you know who I'm talking about, but I don't want it to affect them because outside of this situation, I'm going to say this, but I don't know if it's 100%. I feel deep down he is a good person. And his dad, I loved his dad, so I can't say anything bad. There were some things I saw, but it's not my business. So after that happened, I grabbed my things and I ran out of his house. And I didn't know where to go because I'm not in the same city as I live. I can't just, walk home. I don't know anyone. And yeah, so then I sit there for a second and I met his neighbors probably a week or two before that. Probably a week, it's just 2 weeks my time. And they were really nice. So I went there and I knocked on their door and they were taking a minute to come. So I just had my arm like this on the door and I was like this, just sobbing because, like, I couldn't believe that just happened, because, I don't know, like, I thought I loved this kid so much, and then the last 3 days, it was just completely different. And, like, even when he asked me to come over the first night that I told you guys about, when he was, like, coming off drugs, I told him that, like, something's going on with me, like, I don't think, and, like, you're obviously not in a good place right now, like, do you think it's good for us to be around each other right now? Like, meaning that night, that moment, not in general. And, yeah. And then I pretty much just told the neighbors, like, what happened, and he had my vape, so he was like, thanks for the vape. So I told his dad to go get it, and I was sitting in their living room, and they were kind of, like, hiding me because he was outside, like, yelling at them to let him see me, and he was, like, texting me and stuff, and I had to ignore him. And then I ordered an Uber. It was, like, 15 minutes away, so I wanted to go out with, like, 10 minutes left just to, like, talk to him. And, sorry, I'm, like, looking off because I'm, like, visualizing it so I can fully tell you guys what happened. And, what was I saying? He was texting me. I had to ignore him. I ordered an Uber. I wanted to go out so that I had 10 minutes with him. And I ended up going out with 5 minutes, and I didn't know. And we talked, and it was, like, good, and then he'd snap. And then it was good, and then he'd snap. So, and then right before my Uber came, he grabbed me and, like, pushed our lips together, like, total, like, movie. It was weird. Like, I was like, I thought you were mad at me. Like, that's why. And then I got in my Uber and I left, and I felt bad because I only gave him 5 minutes, but, like, that's why this whole thing confuses me. Like, he was so mad, like, the whole time that we were together, like, that day, 2 days, whatever. Like, why did he have to grab my face and kiss me? Especially like that. And he didn't even say, like, bye or, like, we're over or, like, address it or anything. And then the next day it was just over. It was so weird, but I don't know. I always think about that night because, like, I've never had a boyfriend before. And even though I've, like, been with guys, like, kind of, like, relationship but not really, I've never had, like, that intense of, like, emotion with someone. Not even, like, yeah, I really liked him, but, like, the anger that he felt, like, the anger in his voice was just crazy. So after that, I think I just went home, and, like, I probably went to bed, and then it was the next day. So I don't know if I mentioned, oh yeah, I did, I think. I have it in my notes. And this I might cut off, like, halfway because I'm already at 9 minutes, I'm sorry. YouTube only lets me do, like, 15 minutes. It's weird. So, if you remember, I mentioned, like, second semester, I got these anxiety pills. So when I woke up in the morning, I don't know, like, how exactly my day started, but at one point, I went to get the pills, and I just took them, like, in, like, 3s and 5s and 8s, and then when I got my wisdom teeth out, they gave me Tylenol 3s. So, in my head, like, I didn't want to die, okay? I don't know, like, if I don't know, but I heard, like, I was like, oh, like, people take T3s all the time, like, what's it like? Which is a bad thing to think. And so I was taking all those green pills, and then I took one of those, but I only took one because I was kind of scared, because again, I didn't really want to die, but all I could remember thinking was, like, I don't want to feel anything today, because before that, all I was feeling was emotions, like, fighting with people, and, like, getting comments, like, about me as a person, and that, like, I'm crazy, and, like, I'm all these things, and, yeah, I was saying things back out of, like, literally the manic defense. But, and then my ex, like, I was just done with, like, feeling anything. But, like, I was so in love with life that I didn't want to die, which is kind of hard to explain. So I started taking those, and then, okay, I'm gonna tell you a bit of this, and then I'll cut it in a way that it's okay for the next video. So my mom wanted to take me to the hospital, so she took me, or not yet. Before we went to the hospital, I don't want to say anything too bad again, because, like, this is about my dad. I love my dad, but there's things that he's done, and, like, situations that have happened where I didn't like my dad, and my dad made me feel certain kinds of ways. So before I went to the hospital, I guess this was, like, my final hurrah. I went into his room, and your girl went apeshit, and I don't know, it just started with, like, one thing. I, like, picked it up, and I just dumped it on the floor, and then I was like, that feels good. That felt good. So then I started pulling out his drawers, all the stuff in it, the drawers itself. What else did I do? There was this guitar in there. I tried to throw it out the window. I found these things, which I'm not going to mention. Oh no, I won't mention it actually. Anyways, I ripped them all up on his bed, and a letter that he wrote me, and there was, like, a desk, like, kind of the one you see in the background, but with glass on it, and there was this other thing. It was glass, but, like, I didn't think that it would break, because, I don't know, I was just in a state of mind, like, it's crazy, and it shattered everywhere, and then I came back in my room after, and I filmed this all and put it on my Snapchat. And I came back in my room, and my mom came upstairs, and she went in there, and she just started freaking out. She was like, we have to leave. Like, the look on her face. She was like, we have to leave. So we got in the car, like, my dad was coming back. So we had, like, 10 minutes to leave before he'd come back and see it. So we left, and we went to the hospital, but we didn't go in it. And this is already 14 minutes long, so that's where we're gonna leave it off. We arrive at the hospital, actually the Tim Hortons by the hospital, and that's where we'll continue the next video. I got some feedback on my other videos through Instagram saying that they have impacted you in a positive way and inspired you to either talk to someone or get help, or I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, just hit them in a certain way, and that's the whole reason why I make these. It's not to get views or subscribers or likes, because honestly that takes a long time. I'm just here for maybe one person, and the 100 people that see this can relate to anything that I've said in any way. That just touches my heart, because I don't want anyone to have to struggle the ways that I have, or feel the ways that I have. So with that being said, if you want to talk, please message me. And again, thank you for supporting me and watching my videos. There will be a next one in about, I don't know, I keep saying a week and then uploading in a day. So just look forward to it. Thank you for watching. Bye.